guess I want to put on this side. Keep getting worried that I'm breaking the circuitry, but I'm not. In fact, now that I think about it, like when you're designing video games, I'm just thinking like Skyrim versus Morrowind. It must be so much work designing like new architecture for a video game, whereas if you just copy something in the real world that you can easily research, it's so much faster, so much easier, so much faster. Like building that train station was so fast and so easy compared to some of the more interesting ones. Even like testing, even things like testing for gameplay, believe it or not, because like not only when you copy existing architecture, it's not just the style, right? But even like the plan, the circulation, the way people use the architecture, it already works. People already know that it works. And so you're gonna run into fewer problems like, oh, I just have this space here and I don't know what to do with it. Or like, oh no, people get caught on this corner here. Like stuff that you wouldn't even think about. You realize that, you know, the people who designed the old architecture, they solved that stuff. So you don't even realize those would be problems. Unless you design a whole new thing and you realize, oh, that's why they did that. I don't know if that makes sense or not. I mean, like the steep roof here, allowing me to put a layered level, and then allowing me to put like the station master's office in that level. Like if I didn't have the steep roof, I wouldn't really know what to do with the chimneys, because the chimneys wouldn't go anywhere. Not that, you know, but like just having that space there means, oh, okay, I know what to do with these chimneys. Whereas if I didn't have that space there, I would have to, like, I don't know, move the roof up and then put a space there or something, I don't know. Anyway, let's carry on with this. Stone bricks and bricks. Bricks. Stone bricks. Stone bricks, bricks, glass. This should be solid down here. This down here should be solid. 2, 3, 4, 5 brick. There. Would I also use stone brick for retaining on this branch, just to keep it thematically consistent? Guess I would. I guess I don't need retaining there. So even like concrete, like big concrete pours, you pour concrete, like you mix it up, it's a fluid, you pour it. Like before, we had like big concrete mixers and like big concrete trucks, concrete tankers. You couldn't really do big concrete pours because there's so much concrete you're working with that you need the machines to mix it up and to move it. Otherwise, like, what are you gonna do? Like, have like thousands of people manually mixing up the concrete with their muscles. That's not really gonna work. So like large concrete slabs or like concrete walls, you do need machines to do that stuff. Whereas before that you would use like bricks, and then at best you would have concrete blocks. So a concrete block is small enough that one guy can move the blocks around with his own arms. So a concrete block is something that you can use to build things without machines. Whereas any bigger pieces of concrete you would need machines to handle, because it's too heavy. Too much concrete. So you can kind of like tell how old buildings are based on, like, you know, what kind of technologies are required to build them. Which is why this old-fashioned station is all bricks and concrete blocks, and not like giant slabs of concrete. Which then goes back to what I was saying before, is like, should I have the retaining also be the concrete blocks versus the big concrete that I use for the other bits? And the answer is probably yes, because otherwise it would be anachronistic, right? It wouldn't fit into the same time period as the station. Somehow the track is newer than the station, which is kind of weird. Doesn't make any sense. Why would the track... Well, I guess you could like modify and modernize the track, I guess. But usually once you have a trackway, you wouldn't change the trackway. Usually, and no, there's exceptions. I take that back. There are exceptions. Although, like, changing the trackway is a real pain in the ass. Like, realigning roads is a real pain in the ass. Because what happens is, right, like you have a mostly empty place. You build the transport system there. The transport system allows people to live there. And so they start building their houses and offices and things around the transport network. Because it's the transport network that allows people to live in those places, right? But then once they've built all the houses there, and you want to like move the road by a little bit, what are you going to do? Demolish everybody's houses? Right, you can't do that. So you build, what I'm saying is you build the train tracks on an empty bit of land, and the train track allows people to build a city around it. But once the city is built around it, you can no longer afford to demolish the city to change the train tracks without having to like move a lot of people. So it's unusual to change a trackway. I mean, if you build new tracks, you would build the new tracks in the same place as the old tracks. Otherwise you have to like buy a whole lot of properties and demolish them. Which goes back to what I was saying before, like should I use this is so elaborate. So elaborate. So should I use giant blocks of concrete to retain the earth around this trackway, or should I use the smaller concrete stone bricks? And the answer such elaborate logic. The answer is that the trackway would probably be retained using the same technology as the station, or like it'll be older. It'll be at least as old or older than the station. You can rebuild a station a lot more easily than you can move trackway. Except, for example, if there's been some sort of disaster, let's say there's been like an avalanche, and the old retaining has been destroyed, then any new retaining you put back in the same place would be the newer technology, because it's better. But that would only make sense if it was destroyed in a natural disaster, for example, a flood or a landslide or something. I'm taking this game far more seriously than I should. Wait, what'd I do? That's right, right? Okay, good. But I mean, I guess that's environmental storytelling, right? It's telling the history of the place through architecture and design. In fact, I don't actually think there's any retaining on this branch. So all of that is completely pointless. Because that's not a consideration that we need to think about. I'm not gonna open that. One, two, three, four. 1, 2, 3 something. Let me do the other side and then I'll end the stream for today. That should probably be grass. Whoa, wrong one. In there. Do I have a window on this side? I guess I do. One, two, three, four. It does have all 5. Oh no, let's close that off. Oops. Right. That station. I mean, I'm just thinking, it's so normal. It is so normal that I wouldn't expect it. I'm so used to building elaborate, strange, modernist, and other types of train stations in this map, that seeing something that resembles something from the real world is very strange. It is strange because it is normal. Interesting. Anyway, I'm gonna end the stream today here. When we come back next week, we're gonna finish this branch probably, maybe? Probably finish this branch and then we'll move on to the next station, wherever that is. Alright, see you next time. Nice change, Seth Harbour, yeah. Alright, see you next time.